Hello everyone and welcome back to the Albion News Gaming channel, and today we are back with my reaction to the West Brom FIFA 21, to my rating predictions, sorry. So, let's just get into this. Sam Johnston, now what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from 100 and how many numbers I was away with my prediction. So let's say Johnston, I actually predicted 77. And he was 74, then I would go down from 3 and that'd be 97. But luckily that's not the case, and I got Johnston's rating correct. He was 75. Now, without sounding really cocky here, I did actually kind of think of the pattern. Johnston has stayed at 75 for the last 2 years. He's not had a great year, but he's not had an outstanding year, and he didn't have a bad year last year. So, that's why I think EA would have kept him at 75. So we stay at 100. Now, next prediction, David Button. And at the moment, I'm on a bit of a roll as I got this one right as well. He was 68 rated. So, pleased with that one. We still at 100. And as well as this, I got Jonathan Bond's rating right. We are still at 100. I don't know how I've done this, but unfortunately Alex Palmer was actually rated higher. Not unfortunately, but unfortunately for my predictions, he's 64. He's 65, I predicted 64. I'm down to 99. Now let's get on to the right backs. I predicted Dara O'Shea to be 71, and I should have been right. I, in a way, should have been a little off, because it should have been higher. They rated him 68, they put him up by 1, after having a really solid season in the Championship. You would think 70 was the least they could have given him, but 68? Come on, I'm not having this, 96 I'm down to, not terrible. Now, for the next one, I actually underestimated how high I think EA would have given him. I thought they'd give Furlong just 70, as he didn't play the whole season. They gave him 71, so fair play. To EA, that was probably a better rating than I predicted he'd be. So 95 I'm down to. Not a terrible start. Those goalkeepers have done me well. The next up is Shemi Ajayi, who I was confident would get about 75. You would think he would do after having been probably up with Ben White and Cooper and Michael Hector, I'd say, as the best centre-backs in the Championship, but no, only 73, where Ben White's 75, and there wasn't really a difference between them two. So I predicted 73, I got a difference by 2, that means I'm down to 93. Now the next one, Ahmed Hegazi, sorry. Ahmed Hegazi I predicted would be 74, and now he's not at us, but I'm still going to count. He didn't join us, but I'm still going to count this as one of my predictions. They put him down to 72, which is harsh because he had a good. Okay, he was injured. I think probably because of his injuries, but I don't really think they needed to downgrade him all the way down to 72. So that I'm 2 away. So that means I'm down from 93 to 91. Kyle Bartley, I thought they'd bring up to 74 because he had a good season, but no, 72. The centre-backs, there's not one I agree with at all. So, that's 2 away, I'm down to 89. Cedric Kipre, I thought they'd bring up to 73 after a very good season for Wigan, and statistically, one of the best centre-backs in the division. But no, he's only 68. Now, I don't think they even upgraded him. I think he was 68, 69 last year. In fact, I'm not sure if they even might have downgraded him. Ridiculous, really. I was 5 away. That's me down to 84. Sheesh. This isn't going too well, is it? Left back. Now, I thought they'd downgrade him because he was injured for a lot of last season, but no, they didn't downgrade him, which I'm happy about. But also doesn't make sense when you downgrade Hegazi because he was injured, but not downgrade Gibbs when he was injured. So he's at 75. That's 2 away. I'm down from 84 to 82. Now, Connor Townsend, I thought they'd bring up to 72. To be fair, they still put him up to 71, which I wouldn't have been surprised if he was only 69 or 70. But 71, not a bad rating. I was one away. That puts me down to 81 now. Next up, we have Jake Livermore. Another player that should have been higher. It should have been 75 for me after a really good season, but no, only 74, so I was one away. I don't agree with this prediction. I don't agree with that rating at all of 74. 75 at least for me after Livermore's season. He had a really good season in the Championship. Sam Field, I thought they'd bring up from 67 to 69 after he had a statistically good season for Charlton, but I suppose because he was injured a lot, they only kept him at 67. I was 2 away. That put me down to 78. Next up, we have Romain Sawyers, who I thought would be 74 overall. He was only 73, so I was only one away. But I feel 74 would be a much kind of more realistic. No, I think for me, it's just me. Is there a difference between 73 and 74? Like a bigger, of course, they're different numbers. Albion News Gaming, but I don't know. I just feel like Sawyer's 73 is too low. Sawyers should be 74 or 75. So that's down by 1, 77 for me at the moment. Now, Harp was a weird one. I thought they would either upgrade him or downgrade him. I thought they'd upgrade him. They actually downgraded him, which is weird. Harp was a weird one last season because he signed a contract. And we thought it'd be kind of, when Bilic arrived, we thought it'd be in the 11, kind of in and out the 11, but he just wasn't. He wasn't in the 11 at all, really. Until Sawyers was suspended and he had that good game against Preston, hit the bar with a great shot, he hardly played. And he did well against sides like Preston. I think he did alright against Swansea. But against sides like Blackburn, he didn't have a good game. So, Harper, I think 67 was harsh. I think they should have at least keep him at 68. That probably would have been a better rating for him. So that's down by 2. I'm down to 75 now. Good grief. Now looking at the left midfielders. Next up, I predicted Rico Richards at 58. He turned out to be 54. So I'm actually down by 71 here. So I thought they'd give him a bit higher than he was. Now, a weird rating. Someone I thought would have got downgraded because he didn't particularly have a great season, a great latter stage of the season, but they kept him at 75. So I'm down to 69 because I thought it'd be I thought it'd be 73. He turned out to be too higher at 75. Now, I think the worst rating they have done out of all of these is Mateus Pereira at 76. 79 should have been his rating, at least 78 at the bare minimum, but not even to upgrade him. Not even by just 1. It makes you wonder, did they even watch the Championship last season? I think EA kind of weren't doing it. I don't think EA have rated these cards based on upgrading. I think they've rated them on the season they've had and on the level they've had done it at. Like Mitrovic went 78 to 50, was 78 last season after scoring about 12-13 goals in the Premier League. And then they downgraded him. Now I think that's because he only did that in the Championship. I think the reason Pereira didn't get upgraded is because he came off a decent season at Nürnberg. So I think because he was only in the Championship, I think that's why they didn't upgrade him. That's my theory, but I still don't agree with it. I still think he should have been higher. So I was 3 away. That puts me down to 66. So not doing too well. Now, Filip Krivinovic, I thought would be 75, and they put him all the way down to 72, which is harsh because he had a poor start to the season, but he had a good end to it. So I think that was harsh. 72 for me was harsh, but I'm 3 away again, so that puts me down to 63. So I'm not doing too amazingly, am I? Now, Callum Robinson. I actually got this one right. I said he'd be 72. He is 72. He's a striker, but I'm not doing anything for predictions, for positions rather. So 72, I kind of saw that, I don't know, what was he like? Was he 74? I think that's because he didn't do too well in the Premier League. Actually, I've been impressed with Robinson this season. I think he probably should start against Fulham today. Although, when you're watching this, you most likely we've played Fulham. So hopefully we've won 6-0. I'm going to say we've won 6-0 now. I'm going to say we've won 3-0. No, sorry, I'm going to... What did I go with in my preview? I think I went with a 2-0 win. I'm going to stay with my 2-0 win for this one. Hopefully I'm right. Now, the next one is Kamil Grosicki. I thought he'd be 72, and actually EA kept him at 74, so I was 2 away again. So, that's good. 74 is not bad. Now, another one that I think I gave a more fair prediction is Grady Garner, who hasn't had the greatest start to the Premier League live, but he's actually 72. I thought he should be 75, so I'm 3 away. This puts me down to 58. Good grief, I've not done too amazingly, have I? I think he should have been 75, or at least 73, 74. But he still went, to be fair, he still went up from 68 to 72, so that's still an upgrade by 4, so you can't. It's not awful. I think maybe I was a little high, but maybe I wasn't. Maybe if you think I was harsh, and it should be at about 76, 77. Let me know in the comments below. Harl Robson-Kanu, I thought would be 71. They only gave him 70. I mean, he scored about 11 goals in the championship, didn't he? 10, 11 goals. So I think that was a harsh one. I think Kanu should have been about 71, 72. He was only 70, so but I'm only 1 away, which is a good thing. Now, the next one, Charlie... I don't know what I did there. My gosh. Yeah. Charlie Austin is 72. I got this one right. I said it'd be 72. He went from 75 to 72. I think that's kind of fair. He didn't have a... Austin, for me, was a good signing, but just should never have been our main striker up front. And I think he did alright. He scored some goals, but probably did deserve to go down. I think 75 would be a bit high for someone that only scored about 12 goals in the championship. So I'm still at 57. Now I thought Karlan Grant would be 76. He's only 73, which is mental to me because he was 75 in the live, like, when you played FIFA 20, I signed Karlan Grant and he was 75, and they've basically downgraded him from his live rating to 73. I mean, Karlan Grant's going to prove EA wrong this season, I reckon, and that he should be 76 at least. I thought he'd get a nice bit of an upgrade, but I was wrong. 73, 3 away, I'm down to 54. Come on, I don't want to be lower than 6. I don't want to be lower than 50. And the next one I've done is Callum Morton. I thought it'd be 64. He turned out to be 63. Still pretty close. I'm only down by 1. Now the last one, I went for something a bit ambitious and this didn't pay off. I thought Tulloch would go to silver after doing... he's just a good youngster. He was only 60, so this puts me down to 48 because I was 5 away. Anyway, thank you for watching this. This is a video I've planned to do for a long time. I'm a bit late with it. Please let me know if you want me to do a Premier League prediction. I'm a bit late on this now, so I kind of don't really have the motivation to do it. I should have done it earlier. I wanted to do it after the window ended, but I just didn't get it done. I think I've actually got the predictions written down somewhere. Maybe I'll try and get it done. Anyway, see you on the next one. Have a great day. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Goodbye.